I'm reading this book that I'm actually not going to recommend. Although it might even be on the bestseller list, New York Times bestseller list. It's Loser Think by Scott Adams. He's the Dilbert cartoonist. Not a big fan of the book. I got about 80% of the way through and I just didn't finish it. But a few concepts that he brought up in there I thought were pretty cool. And one of them was the term mental prison escape consultant. Now, this is what he kind of calls himself in this book, and he gives you a bunch of rules on how not to be a loser thinker kind of thing. He likes to make up words, which is cool, fine. He's probably had a few best-selling books. Think Bigly was one of them. I haven't read it yet. But the reason why that kind of struck me is because that is exactly what a professional coach does. Now, in his book, he's telling you a ton of ways to kind of get out of loser think. And if you're in loser think, that means you're inside a mental prison. Okay? There is some essence of psychological truth to this. We can grab on to ideologies. We can believe our own internal blockers. And as a result, it limits our freedom. We can't really branch out. It's like we're in a form of prison. I think the essence of this is kind of captured in Romans chapter 12, verse 2 in a very subtle way. Yep. Definitely quoting this verse again. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That word transformed is metamorpho. What a caterpillar does become a butterfly, right? If you transform your thinking, you'll go from being the little caterpillar that can only maybe live on one tree in its lifetime to a butterfly that can fly to many trees throughout the forest or the fields or wherever you want to fly. It's the same thing. Coaches really are professional mental prison escape consultants, but get rid of the consultant because our goal is not to tell you what to do. What coaches do is ask you questions to help move you around your blockers or help you work your own way out of the prison. How could I possibly tell you the best way to get out of your, mental obstructions? I can't. Only you can do that. Even if I've seen something that's worked for me and other people, it may not work for you, so I can't tell you how to get out of it. But what I can do is ask you questions that get you into a right hemisphere thinking mode. My next video, I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit from a video I watched with Jordan Peterson and this brilliant creative thinker. But the idea is when we are experiencing an internal blocker, which comes from us, that's why it's internal, right? A fear, assumption, interpretation, or limiting belief. I've done a lot of videos on this. We put ourselves in a prison. We voluntarily put around us obstructions that keep us from really achieving what we ultimately want to achieve. This is why I think coaching, it's so important. And I think this is why the Bible starts out with God asking questions, right? He didn't say, hey, Adam, I know you kind of ate that fruit. Eve, you ate that fruit and that's why you're naked. He said, hey, Adam, where are you? Hey, where are your, why are you wearing what you're wearing, right? Jesus asked questions all the time throughout the New Testament. I have a spreadsheet list of his questions, 117 he asked. And I always ask, what question did he ask that he didn't already know the answer to? The answer is none. He didn't ask questions about when the end of the world would come. I think a lot of people would agree. He admitted, I don't know when God the Father is going to bring about the end times, but the questions that he asked all of his disciples, he asked them so that they could learn to develop a thinking pattern. So they could learn how to ask themselves questions like Jesus was asking them. This is a powerful way of discipling one another. Instead of us telling those that we're in discipling relationships what we think is best for them, how could we? How could we know? Of course, if they're about to murder somebody with a knife, yeah, you know what's better for them, not murder. But short of these really egregious sins, how can we know what's best for somebody? How can we even advise them? Really, the right way to go is to ask questions to help them get around whatever's blocking them. And that's what a mental prison escape consultant really does. I am going to give credit to Scott Adams. Yes, I'm holding the book upside down. for that label because it's clever. He's a clever dude. I love Dilbert for sure. But let's get out of the consultant business per se. Let's ask each other great questions. You and your company, as a leader, all of your employees, help them become their very best by removing blockers from them. Physical ones that keep them from doing their work, but also mental ones. Ask them questions to get them to look around whatever that is that's blocking them, to get around the fear, to, instead of assuming, fortune telling, predicting what we think the future is going to hold, we get into a right hemisphere thinking and we can create what that future vision is and then kind of work our way to it. Really great way to kind of approach our life in our business world, our personal life, but certainly how we interact with others and how we even interact with ourselves. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.